Siona God. Hello, everyone. So good to be here with you at the Cherokee National Holiday Art Show, our 72nd annual holiday for celebrating the signing of our Constitution. We're here at the Chota Center at the casino. I mean, behind me you can see all this beautiful, beautiful artwork, ages ranging from 1 to 8, our youth group. We have some veterans, artists here. This year I'm going to have a new sidekick with me. His name is Brad Wagner. I've known this guy a long time. In fact, we go way back to Grandview Elementary. His mom was actually my third grade teacher. Then I remember when she was pregnant with him and his twin brother, watched him grow up, and he works Cherokee Nation Emergency Management, and you are the
Community Preparedness Coordinator.
He's also going to be interviewing our artist today. He's also a Cherokee author. He has several books out helping get the culture across, with the Cherokee stories. And a good friend of his, Alex Stevenson, who works in behavioral health. He's the illustrator. So we got a lot of talent here at Cherokee Nation as employees. He's going to be doing some interviews. And so, Brad, so glad to have you here with us. And I'll let you boogie on over and get ready for the interview. I'm glad you're here with us. So, you can, like I said, you can look around and see we have all sorts of great stuff. Here's our table full of our youth entries. All sorts of interesting stuff, and I think it's great that they have baskets and beadwork. That knife in the center, he actually went to grade school with one of my sons. He's a Grandview kid. That's another tie to the elementary school I went to. I think this is his second or third entry involving knives and deer horn and stuff like that. Baskets, pottery, beadwork, and then if you look over here, I like how our youth are continuing with modern themes, the missing and murdered Indigenous women, trying to keep that in the forefront. That's something that needs to be, should have been taken care of many, many years back. But, that's still coming up. And then, that's still being taken care of and talked about. All sorts of great artwork and this beautiful spider work here. Anita Mitchell, I believe, and her I think it's her grandfather, has a big, beautiful piece that's in her. We'll be talking to them. Lots of stuff to see, lots of things to do here at the Cherokee National Holiday. Not only the art show, I'm trying to think what else. Down at One Fire Field, they got arts and crafts, bingo for the elders. You can take a tour of the complex to see what services they offer. I'm trying to think what else. I think there's a car show, lots and lots of stuff to do. Oh, an activity for the kids, fishing derby, 5K run, I believe, tomorrow morning that kicks off. So if you're a runner, of course, you need to be prepared and trained for that. But they've got all sorts of neat things and fun things to do, all sorts of interesting pieces that are entered. And it's not just baskets and pottery. Like, look at this beautiful beaded hat right here. If you ever need a beautiful accent piece to go to the powwow with, and you can see here on the side, it looks like that sunflower there. And if you need a Halloween decoration, look at this big spider in the center of the table. Oh my goodness. It'd be great to kind of hang on the wall, as a decorative art piece. Definitely a statement piece. And all sorts of textile work. We've got kids doing ribbon skirts. In the youth section, I just love it to pieces because we've got up-and-coming artists, new kids, fresh blood coming in that are expressing themselves creatively, wanting to carry on tradition. Got a lot of talented kids here, very, very talented. Got this bag right here. Beautiful artwork that's being done by these kids. It's just amazing me how much talent we have around here. So as we're here at the 72nd Annual Cherokee National Holiday, the art show, we got more pieces we're going to talk about, other artists we're going to interview, but I'm going to throw it over to Brad so he can talk to our newest national treasure, Roy Bony Jr. So over to you, Brad.
So to God, I'm Brad Wagner, here at the Homecoming Art Show. And after this art show, after you visit here, make sure you come up and see us at the powwow at the Cultural Grounds. That's where I'll be tonight. And tomorrow at the Artisan Market downtown. I'm going to be talking with some of our Cherokee artists today that have entered the Homecoming Art Show. And I am very glad to talk to our first artist. He is the amazing Roy Bony. How you doing, Roy?
Doing fine. How about you?
Good. Roy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, I grew up in Locust Grove, Oklahoma. Born and raised in Oklahoma. Went to school there in Locust Grove, graduated. I've been living in Tahlequah now about almost 20 years. I worked for Cherokee Nation for 16, and I now work for C&B under the Cherokee Film umbrella for about 6 months now. So.
Awesome. So what do you have entered here in the art show this year?
Well, I do mostly painting and drawing, but I have a painting this year, which you see behind us. It's a painting Sequoia working on his number system.
Nice, nice. Now, last night you got a huge honor. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so every year Cherokee Nation honors artisans with a Cherokee National Treasure Award. So I was humbled to receive that award this year for painting.
Awesome, awesome. Very well deserved. What other types of art do you do?
Well, I do a lot of painting and drawing, as I mentioned. I also do illustrations for books, comics, and that kind of things. I've done some book covers, some covers from Marvel. I do animation work. Just kind of really anything in terms of like graphic arts. I do a lot of that too.
Awesome, awesome. As a national treasure, I know that one of the things that you're supposed to do is teach up and coming artists. So, what are some advice you would give some upcoming Cherokee artists?
Definitely practice what your art form is. Do it every day. I literally do a drawing every day. It started just for practice, trying to get better at what I want to do. And that applies to anything, whether it's you're painting, drawing, basket making, storytelling, wanting to learn the language. Just do it every day and you'll get better with it.
Can you tell us anything about what you got coming up? Any comic books?
Yeah, I've got a few projects on the horizon I can't say too much about yet.
Yeah.
That's one of the interesting things about working with like a company like Marvel. Sometimes you can't talk about what you're doing, but I've done some projects with them, mainly cover art for Marvel. I got an upcoming children's book that's supposed to be coming out, and also with the National Treasure thing, I'll be doing some classes as well.
Nice, nice. As you know, I have some children's book as well, and I've got your book Sky that you did. That's really an awesome piece. Just want to thank you for being here with us today, Roy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What else?
We're done.
Hey, welcome back here to the Cherokee National Holiday Art Show. I'm standing here with Anita Mitchell. She has two pieces here. So a little bit about yourself. How old are you?
I'm 17.
And where do you go to school?
I go to school in Grapevine, Texas currently. It's an early college high school called Collegiate Academy. And when I graduate this year, I'll also be graduating with an associate's degree as well as my high school diploma.
Wow, okay.
A lot of information.
Well, no, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad you can encourage a lot of young ladies out there, an associate's degree and your high school diploma.
Yes.
Is that something they only offer in Texas, I wonder? I mean, that is so cool.
I'm not really sure. It's an early high school program, so there's multiple schools like that throughout the state. Maybe Oklahoma can catch on eventually.
Oh, I think we should. That is so great. So, this art piece behind us, tell us a little bit about it.
It's based off the story of the wolf stealing food from a Cherokee village in the winter. And as the wolf was chased off, the food fell from its mouth, and that formed the stars. And so this is kind of the wolf joining the stars and coming back down.
That is so cool. Now, that's a story I haven't heard. I do a little storytelling, but that's a new one. You may have to tell it to me later. But I love the colors and the details, incredible. So how long did it take you to paint this?
Well, I do digital art, so it's much more simple than actually simply painting. So this is a digital print.
Oh, okay.
How long it really took, I can't really say, because it's a whole sketching process, it's a painting process. So about maybe 3 to 5 hours, typically.
To do this whole thing?
Yes.
That's incredible because I'm at a disadvantage. I don't have my glasses on, but it almost looks like pen and ink, but that's incredible that it's digital. And so 3 to 5 hours. And so is that all together? Or did you kind of space it out to get inspiration or what?
It's definitely spaced out, so it takes me a little bit to come up with the sketch, and then I have to like refine it, and then I mess around with the colors. So originally this wasn't purple. It was going to be more blue, and then I didn't like the blue, and then I made it more purple. So it's definitely a process of just finding what I like and then what I don't like and combining that together to make a real good art piece.
Well, I do like the color choice of the purple. It goes with the flowers, and the red dot shows that it's sold. And so I guess we're going to pitch back here real quick. We got some time? Got some time? Oh, okay, all right, just double check. So you got another piece over here. Tell us about this one.
This was inspired when I heard the theme This year's homecoming, Weaving Our Future, and I was inspired to do the basket weaving, which I had never done before, so this was my first dive into that. And then this was also my first time doing airbrushing with pen and ink. So this red and fade into yellow is all airbrushing, which I'm pretty new at. I've only been doing it a couple times.
Okay, so this one's not digital.
It's not digital. It's traditionally done with pen and ink. It's on illustration board. I masked out my own frisket for the airbrushing. I did it all traditionally.
How long?
Oh, I can't even say. Definitely a while. Maybe 10 hours would be my guess.
Oh wow, that's incredible. The detail is great. I love the star in the back. The eyes on the spider is incredible, and so that's just amazing. So the airbrushing, I guess that's takes a steady hand.
It does. My grandfather had to teach me. It took a whole week for me to learn how to do the frisket by myself, so I cut it by myself, and then how to steadily do the ombre effect. I was scared the whole time doing it.
What's an ombre effect?
It's the change between colors.
Okay.
So the red into the yellow is what you would call an ombre.
Okay. All right. And so this one's for sale. It's $700, and so it's a very beautiful piece. And of course, your other one over here. And what's the title of it again?
The Wolf and the Stars.
The Wolf and the Stars. And so, and ladies and gentlemen, if you come down and you're looking for some artwork, the red dot shows that it's sold. There's a lot of pieces here available, and so this one got snatched up pretty quick. So it probably makes you excited that someone, kind of excited and sad, huh?
I'm sad to see it go, but I'm very excited that someone liked it enough to buy it. I'm very happy that people love my art.
And so you're going to put that money back into more art supplies, huh?
Definitely, yeah.
It's kind of like the addiction of beading. They buy more supplies and keep going. But that's great that you're doing that. So how long have you been painting and digitizing and doing things like that?
Well, my grandfather, Ron Mitchell's been teaching me to draw since about the age of 3, and I've been doing art competitions since elementary school. I've really only been doing art shows since I was 14, so about 3 years ago. And really digital art was starting around that time as well, so 3 to 5 years is about how long I've been doing digital art.
So you were on the cutting edge.
I guess, yeah.
Well, this is some beautiful artwork. We appreciate you taking time to talk with us. And her other piece is for sale. And like I said, these other ones are here for sale. So thank you so much. I know you're sitting out there with your grandfather and selling artwork. So, and what's the name of your guys' studio?
We don't have a studio. I work out of my house.
Well, that is your studio. So yeah. Is there a name for it, or is it just house?
It's just my house.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for Anita, and we'll be picking on you probably later, but thank you so much for sharing with us. Oh, and congratulations on the diploma and the associate's degree. Young ladies out there, this is what your role model should look like. Smart, talented, and getting educated as quick as you can. So thank you so much for inspiring a bunch of other young women. Thank you so much. All right, so let's mill around here. We'll come back over this little pottery piece right here, and we're going to pitch it over to Brad, to our next guest. So hopefully he's ready for it, but we love this piece right here. All right, so we're ready for him? A little bit more? A little bit more? Okay.
Welcome back. We're back with another Cherokee artist at the Homecoming Art Show. We have Andrea Tidwell with us. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Andrea, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us where you're from?
I am a beadwork artist. I grew up in Stillwell. I'm from Stillwell, Oklahoma, and I like to bead. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
What got you into beading?
My mom, I am a second-generation beadwork artist. My mom beaded all the time, and I grew up around art and beadwork, and I remember I made my first medallion when I was about 5 years old. So I've been beading for over 40 years now.
Awesome. So obviously you have beadwork in this year's show.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about it, what the names of the pieces are?
The beaded medallion is little Cherokee water spider in the first fire, and that depicts the first fire story, where she goes and retrieves the fire when all of the other animals didn't think she could, and she saves the day, you know, with that. And I I kind of relate to her, little, but little me, big things,
Yep.
And then the tobacco down, prayers up, and that is Like it has, I put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
I tufted some caribou fur, and I just put like a sweet grass around the border. I tried to like do a lot of work, different things that out of my element. I don't really ever, tough caribou fur.
Pushing yourself. Yep.
Yeah, pushing. I like to push the envelope. I like to push and see, to try different techniques and things like that, just for my own self, and I think it turned out really well. I really do love that, and it's called Tobacco Down, Prayers Up, and it's just basically for everybody. We all need tobacco down and prayers up.
We do. We
Yeah.
do.
And I enjoyed working on that one especially.
Do you do any other sorts of artwork?
I paint, but it's not my specialty,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and draw, and just different little things I like to piddle, around
Yeah.
with stuff. But I mean, like with the beadwork and stuff, it kind of is like a combination of
Yeah.
like drawing and painting, and even like weaving a basket. Really, it's just so much goes into. I mean, it's just not beadwork
Yep.
for me, and it's a lot more. It's like I draw it out, I see it, and I kind of like paint with beads in a way. So.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for beaders that are up and coming or trying to learn how to bead?
Just to not be discouraged, and if there's not one right way or wrong way to bead, and I know a lot of people, they get discouraged as soon as they try, and they're like, no, it's not working out for me, and it's not for me, and I'm like, I can't tell you how many times, something didn't turn out the way I, wanted it to, and I didn't let that get me down, I just cut it up or whatever, I've been known to do that,
Has there ever been something that didn't turn out the way you want it to that other people really like?
Yeah, all the time, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
and I kind of like get cringe sometimes, like years, years past, 10
Yeah.
years, and I'm like, I can't even look at that, but everybody else likes it, so that is like my main goal, is to create and make something that means something to everybody, for different reasons. Like if they look at the tobacco bag, they may see something that resonates with them, like the new moon or whatever, the first fire, any of that. I try to make art where somebody looks at it and they're like, have their own takeaway for it,
What are you working on right now? Are you working on any pieces for shows?
Yeah, I have the Cherokee Art Market, and this is my first art market. I've never been to one before.
In October, yep.
And I have some stuff. That's all I can
That's all
say.
you
I'm
can
like,
say.
I'm not saying anything else. I mean, I hopefully it blows people away. I love to do. I like to do a lot of bold, bright colors, and I want someone to look at my work and just be blown away and be like, wow, and to show people that don't underestimate beadwork, because a lot of people overlook beadwork, and a lot goes into that, just as much as like a sculpture or anything else,
Well, that's great.
in a world of all of the sculptures, and all
yeah.
of that, there's the beadwork too.
The beadwork too. Well, that's great. We really thank you for being here with us today. Well done, Andrew.
Well, thank you. It was really fun. Thank you for having me.
All right, so good to be back. So I'm jumping around here. We did the youth, and it was great talking to Anita. Like I said, all the young ladies need to do like her. I mean, that is so crazy. A high school diploma, associate's degree, so creative. I love that, to encourage young women. And also, got another young lady here who has made some beautiful dresses here. She's got this one, and then the dragon flying back here. Jennifer McCaffrey. So I'm going to talk to her real quick if she'll come in and join me. I interviewed her last year. So tell us about this darling piece. Now, do you make it my size?
Not your size, no. You're a little broad in the shoulders for the ones I make, but I actually focus on the larger mannequins and do like size 12 to 14s, because the smaller basic size dress form is like 6, 7. They're small, and we're real women, and we're bigger than that, so I focus on making bigger sizes.
That's so awesome. So tell us about this dress. I love it because like an evening out on the town, the chief's reception. So was that the idea?
Yes, it's meant to be a formal gown. I actually made it for one of the models that went to New York Fashion Week, and then embellished it further. So I'm really happy with how the back turned out, especially. And if it doesn't sell, it'll be in the fashion show on September 14th at Margaritaville at the Creek Casino.
Okay, that is so cool. And so how long did it take you after the inspiration, once you started cutting material, how long did it take you?
Probably a couple weeks on and off working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would assume longer because I see the detail. But
The different satins and the ribbon and everything took extra, especially the ribbons on the bottom. But yeah, I got it pretty good. Couple weeks.
so we're going to move over to, the sunflower. That one was dragonfly. So this one is sunflower. I love the blue color. So is it more for a fall or spring? The wool.
It's a wool blend, and it's a traditional wrap skirt. And then all my skirts have linings. All my clothes have linings. But the sunflowers is very cheery with the blue. And I don't do small bead work, but I do the stone bead work and the different shells and things like that. Like that's mother of pearl, and there's some shells and stuff in there, which I just think adds some dimension to it. But I don't use patterns. So like the tops are just kind of what I see in my head, and I put it out there.
So we'll get out of the way and let the cameraman get a shot from behind so the ladies can look at it. It's for sale. And I have to laugh because I remember I sold 2 of your dresses last year, and one of the big selling points which hooked the lady was you had pockets with little hidden zippers. And I love your little details.
Yes, now I didn't do pockets in this skirt, but there's a hidden zipper in the dragonfly dress on the side. You can't see it. And then also the ribbons in the back, depending on how tight you want the dress, it helps adjust it. So there's room for some give if you need to make that smaller or bigger.
You've thought of everything. Now, so do you still do color guard?
Yes. We've got a lot going on this weekend. We just made new uniforms, so I finished these this week.
And I love that. We're going to get a shot of that POW MIA. I love that with the feathers. That is so cool.
The Vice Commander, Libby Nugent, and I got those together when we were in D.C. for the procession of the Veterans Memorial 2 years ago. And so when I made these, I was like, we're going to have our matching patch on there. She was in the Navy. And so, yeah, got some syllabary. And
So you're honoring your comrades, your heritage, being a strong woman. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, always, if you find a veteran, thank them. If you see her out and she's in her, it's camo, right, with the what do you call the neck thing?
We have a new uniform.
Oh, okay.
We've successfully raised some additional funding from the councilmen and women. And so we have new white service dress tops with ascot and our gorgets, and then our new slacks and ribbon skirts, and it's a new look.
Okay, we'll have to look for you at
New look this year.
We'll have to look for you at the powwow. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, so got our next guest coming up. So back to you, Brad.
Good.
Which is he?
All right, we are here with Cherokee artist Ron Mitchell. Thanks for being here, Ron.
Well, my pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us where you're from.
Well, I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia, 1943. I've been doing full-time artist since 1971. 1972, I quit my job and haven't looked back since then.
Nice. What community do you identify here with in Oklahoma?
Well,
Your family from?
My family is originated up around Locust Grove, the
Okay.
Foreman family.
Yep.
Maud Foreman was my grandmother. And my dad was in the Army, so we traveled around a lot as a child. But summers I got to spend up here at Locust Grove a lot. And my nickname was Snowball because most of the kids were a little darker complexion than I was for some reason or another.
I can identify with that a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of artwork you do?
Well, I do pen and ink drawings and acrylic paintings. I've also done sculptures before and metalwork. I'm 80 years old now, so I'm trying to get away from the sculpture work. It's dirty and hard and heavy. Been concentrating the last few years on my pen and ink drawings. For years, I was making a living with the artwork, and I didn't have time to really concentrate on the pieces because, I had to get to the next show to make money to pay them bills.
Yeah.
And now I get the time to spend on the drawings and spend a lot of research on it, and time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If it takes 100 hours to finish it, well, that's what it takes.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about this heavy piece back here?
Yes. This piece here is my newest piece in the pen and ink series. It's the title of it is American Bison Revival. And what I wanted to show is that how the American bison was almost to the point of extinction in the early 1900s. We were down to less than 1,000 buffalo. And it's slowly coming back. The tribe, I think, in 2014 started another herd here, and it's flourishing. Yeah. And so in the picture, I've got 7 portals in the forest. The first portal on the far left, you see a little mist in the top, and that represents the few thousand buffalo, the 1,000 buffalo. And as you go to each portal, you'll see the buffalo starting to materialize until the final portal that is 3/4 of the way out, and finally the buffalo has risen up and has come back from the point of extinction.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I've always admired your work and the detail. You said earlier that you've been teaching your granddaughter. Can you tell us what you tell her about?
Yes. She was about 4 years old, and I was working on a drawing, and she crawled up on the drawing table and wanted to sit there and just watched intensely. And so I gave her some colored pencils, and she got a little creative. But I started working with her, and even I think it was in preschool, they asked the old typical question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she says, I don't want to be, I am an artist. And she's proven quite well. I've started out teaching her, the basic composition and design, and of course, pen and ink.
Yeah.
And the hard thing for her to learn at first was to slow down and take your time. Yeah. But she's really come along real well. She's taken what I've taught her and taught herself digital art.
Oh, wow.
And I find that real interesting. If I was a few years younger, I'd get into digital art myself. I've tried a little bit, and I'd still much prefer to pen on the paper.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you sitting down and talking with us today, and we look forward to seeing what you got coming up.
Oh, I'll keep trying to outdo the last picture, that's for sure. So thank you very much.
We'll do it, Ron.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we close, and I'm so glad you guys joined us for the live stream, we had to get a shot of the lamp. I love how they did the round reed and made a lampshade. The artist said that the whole entire thing is for sale, the lampshade and the lamp itself. I love the ceramic, how the colors match, and we've got some beautiful ceramic pieces. And I love this this big carving over here. The detail, I love it, and how it's delicate with the little sides of the mushroom, so skinny and everything. I mean, this artist did an incredible job. And like I said, if you don't see a red dot on the tag, everything's for sale. Funny story about this ribbon skirt right here. I almost sold it a second time. We didn't have the red dot posted, but you can see the spider there, the water spider that brought us our first fire. There's a legend about that, how we got our first fire. We're able to stay warm. And if you look at the side there, it looks like kind of a flat reed weave. Some beautiful artwork. And one of the last things we're going to show, I love this spider. Kind of reminds me of Van Gogh style. But there's a lot of things you can see here. And look, and it's still for sale, no red dot. But a lot of beautiful things to see. Kids' artwork from folks who've been established for a long time, but you can only find it here at the 72nd Annual Cherokee National Holiday Art Show. So you guys need to come down and see us. Hopefully you will. There's a lot of other things going on this holiday weekend. Like I said, there's bingo for the elders, or arts and crafts at One Fire Field, which is between the complex and Sequoia High School. Fishing derby, 5K run, all sorts of things like that. So please come out and see us. So as we're wrapping up here, I guess we'll do a quick walkthrough, look at some more interesting art pieces. Troy Jackson, he always enters, and so another lovely, beautiful art piece. Believe it's for sale. I don't think there's a red dot on there. And lots of things to see. As you can see, we got a pretty good crowd down here just milling around, checking things out. All down here at the 72nd Annual Cherokee National Holiday Art Show. So glad you could join us. Thank you so much. And as we say 2 different ways, Kohia, which is later, or Dona Dago Ha'i, until we meet again. You guys have a good one.